Hello, I'm Patricia, and in this video, I want to talk to you about the metaphysical reasons for chronic fatigue. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I am a metaphysicist. I know for some people that's not a thing, but a lot of people are actually feeling things that are unexplainable, kind of mysterious, and I'm here to take the mystery and the fear out of it. So welcome. Let's talk about chronic fatigue and even having patches of time where you feel fatigued. Now, fatigue sometimes hits people out of the blue, and sometimes it's circumstantial, meaning you can actually connect the dots and say, well, I'm really tired because I had a really strong exertion. I helped someone move, and now I'm just really out of energy. And there's aspects to the fatigue that some people kind of take into consideration, and they should. What about people who can't really feel, or they can't feel or sense why they are fatigued? For example, if you're able to connect the dots and you're able to say, well, that feels like a good fatigued feeling, like a job well done. We did it, we moved it, we accomplished it. Many times this is something that happens after people have done these really strong exertions on something. But many times in life, we are in the daily grind. And how do you reconcile yourself to feeling energetic day in and day out with a daily grind that leaves you feeling fatigued? Sometimes it is worsened by your ancestors. What did your ancestors do? What did they have to go through? And why would this fatigue catch up with you now? So there's a lot of questions that I'm able to answer about this, and a lot of mysteries we're able to take away. And even better, I pride myself on being able to help people shift it and have a daily routine so that they're able to stave it off, gather their strength back, really build up again. As I say, sometimes it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. This is definitely one of those things that is more like a marathon. So let's talk about some of the metaphysical reasons for this, shall we? First of all, as we age, we can become more fatigued. Why? Our tissues are wearing out. There's a lot of wear and tear on us. There's a lot of grinding. There's a lot of heavy work sometimes. There are things that make you feel like you're crazy. And then you might wonder, why do I feel like my grandmother or my grandfather? Is this what elder people really feel like? And yet, maybe it doesn't match to your age. If you're in your 30s and you feel like you're 70 years old, that's not a good thing. And people go on a hunt searching for answers. It is good to do self-care. It is good to learn for yourself, but it is even better to know that I work with you as an entirely whole person. That means not just mind, body, spirit. It means the energetic side of you, your energy, your human energy field, the ports or the connections where your energy is plugged in. Why? Because some people can feel it in different parts of their body. They feel it here, or they feel it dragging them in their lower extremities, or they have a sense of weakness. Believe it or not, some of this is driven by hormonal imbalances. And I don't just mean estrogen. There's a lot of other hormones, and it does affect men as well as women. So age is a factor, and yet for 15 years, I've been able to help people come through these patches of fatigue, because that's what I call them, in order to feel more youthful, more energetic, younger even. I've done it with myself. I am the only guinea pig I have, and what I go through, I write it down, I learn what works, and I also have some guidance on it. I have intuitions, and my gift is to be able to translate it and mark it down and really work it into a workable plan for somebody's day in and day out life. The next thing I want to talk to you about is diet. Yes, diet can be a factor. And I'll tell you why. Many times we may not realize that there is something happening here where people are becoming much more sensitive. They're more aware of their emotions. They're more aware of how they feel. They're more aware of food sensitivities. They're more aware of how things affect them. They're becoming less afraid to speak up about that and not even yell at people, which I don't recommend, but to just say, no, thanks, I'm allergic. No, thanks, I can't have gluten. No, thank you, gluten just drags me down. But it's not just about gluten. There are components in foods that, let's face it, sometimes because of the ancestors or past reasons, what happened through ancestral times, how did this group trade foods with that group? And, all of a sudden you have a new food that the human body is trying to become accustomed to. These are all factors. Diet is a factor. And how would you adjust this? Well, believe it or not, your endocrine system wants you to be able to fully digest, assimilate, and evacuate any of the waste products of your body seamlessly. How do we improve the function of this, and how do we make you feel like you're not crazy, that you love dairy and all of a sudden you can't have dairy? It makes you feel a certain way. Those feelings lead to certain emotions. How would you like to feel that what you love, you could reintroduce that? So this is something that I've been doing with people for 15 years before I started this channel. And this is something that I've done with myself. I enjoy wheat. I enjoy dairy. I enjoy all kinds of foods. I like to say that in many ways, humans have been omnivorous. We've had to subsist on many things. We've had to trade with others. We've had to trade supplies or resources. It's traded worldwide. This is part of everything from Wall Street to options trading to your table, right in your table. And you're not crazy about that. Something inside you is saying, yeah, there's got to be a way. I have those ways that can help you. Now, let's say with diet, you're on and what I mean by diet is not being on a diet. What I actually mean is, can you have an eating plan? Can you have an eating plan? Because this will contribute to fatigue. We can say that there are things that we can add in. There are supplements that I know of. And we cover these in my upcoming class about this to help you get through some chronic fatigue with the condition of human spiritual illness. So that is what the topic is about. This isn't a religion class. This is about getting spirited again. It's about bringing your spirit back so that you can enjoy the things of life. The third thing I'm going to let you know is fatigue has a lot to do with your level of sleep. Now, you may notice that in the news and in the media and all over, people are talking about sleep or their lack of sleep or sleep apnea, sleep disruption, sleep deprivation. Why is that? There's something fundamentally changing, but there's also a way to up-level yourself. So if you're having terrible sleep down here, I have ways to get you back into that REM sleep, back into that alpha state, the delta state, whatever states, but many times there is a very lucid level that people sleep. So let me give you an idea. If you're fatigued and you can gradually get into this level, 1 hour in that level usually can feel like a really deep sleep of 6 to 8 hours. Now, for many people, they've never had that experience and they're trying all kinds of things. My method and my modality uses your natural body's rhythms, the rhythms of the season, and also the rhythm of getting into a routine, a daily routine, so that it doesn't leave you fatigued. Do you have a sense that you're fatigued or you're tired but wired? Meaning like you're kind of, jacked up and you haven't even had a cup of coffee, but yet you're tired. You don't have energy for things. Do you feel a sense of chronic fatigue? This is what I call it. That makes you feel like you're in some kind of old lady phase of your life. Nothing against our elders. Or an old man phase of your life. Nothing against our elders. Sometimes they're very wise. Sometimes they are people that we know and love in our families. Sometimes they've been wonderful teachers to us. But yeah, our previous generations of people, our ancestors, they maybe didn't have access to a lot of the qualities of life that maybe we can. And maybe we're a little too extra, but we're not crazy. We know what we're feeling, and this stuff is real. What happens to you when you go to your doctor? Do you feel like you're being gaslighted? Now, I want to just say something about doctors. And I studied in college to be a doctor. I'm not a doctor. But what I will say is many times they have already studied for 8 years in their post-high school years so that they can find the smoking gun, find the reason. They've done labs, they've done chemistry, they've done clinical work. They've stayed up late, they've studied and studied and studied. What they don't know about is the metaphysical side of things. So the way I see it, if we put everything together, your doctor doesn't have to seem like they're gaslighting you. They simply don't. They're not expected to be a nutritionist. They're not expected to be that person who knows like how well you're sleeping and other lifestyle factors about your ancestors, right? What have you inherited from your ancestors? What is in the past that we can now tweak and up-level and upgrade? So please look at the links below. Check out my website, and I hope that you join my class on human spiritual illness because we want you to get better. This is about you. This is about not making your health a crisis. So please join us. Write to me with your questions. Leave questions in the comments if you want, or email me at 4zonehealing@gmail.com. Have a great day. Bye now.